They are truly saying the quiet part out loud. And you should be positioning yourself right now. Here's the good news, they're hiding it in plain sight. They're actually explaining to you exactly what they're doing. Here's a few hints: silver is at an all time high, gold's at an all time high, Bitcoin has beat every single asset class over the last 10 years. If you don't understand what I just said about those three things, that is your goal. Remember, income and cash flow are completely different. Our system, the indoctrination system, traded us to trade labor for debt. And after 1913, your money became worthless. Before 1907, we used to trade our labor for real money that was rooted in reality: land, equipment. We had businesses. We owned everything. After 1913, we became monetary debt slaves. Now, here's the issue: 100 years later, we've lost 96 to 97% of the value of our currency. But you still think that we can operate in the old system. You think that just saving all your money in a bank account that's deflating about every 35 years in half is going to save you. Put your money in a 401k, you get taxed on the back end, you get taxed to work, you get taxed to buy food, you get taxed to buy gas. And the elites are operating in a completely different paradigm. So I'm going to show you what Larry Fink says, who is heading up the World Economic Forum, who says you're going to own nothing and be happy. But it's time to stop playing victim. It's time to become a victor. It's time to understand that you have a choice. You can actually move through the system. Over the last 500 years, I'm also going to show you how Ray Dalio has predicted the rise and fall of superpowers. This is nothing different. This is nothing new under the sun. It's just new technology, new forms of currency, and the same old game that's played over and over and over again. The biggest difference is, how will your soul and your decisions be different this time? Nobody's here to ruin your life. Nobody's trying to stop you. They've got you convinced that somebody's going to come out of the sky and save you. That's the next 4 years, the next president's cycle is going to save you. And it always comes back to the same thing. It's you, your decisions, physically, spiritually, and financially. So we're going to go through the facts, figures, numbers, logic. We're going to let them shape the story and what they're showing in plain sight. And I'm going to share with you, I'm just a dude on the internet sharing with you exactly what I'm doing and how I freed my family financially. What I'm trying to encourage you to do is build a system and understand that the system changes over time, but what doesn't change is the cycle. Okay, so let's first watch a video. There's so much content right now with the World Economic Forum. I can't even keep up with it. But this is Larry Fink. If you're not familiar, he is the CEO of the largest company in the world, one of the largest companies in the world, that basically from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, every product you touch, they have their hand in. They're 11 trillion. That's how big their company is. Really rationalize this, okay? This is how early crypto is. The crypto market is 3 trillion. NVIDIA is bigger than the whole crypto market, and they are at 11 trillion. This one company is $11 trillion. That is bigger than most countries' gross domestic product. They are massive. He's the number one holder in Bitcoin, okay, outside of Satoshi. So listen to what he says, saying the quiet part out loud, and then I'm going to bring you deeper into Ray Dalio's changing world order, and then I'm going to share with you what I believe is happening, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing to navigate through this.
We believe that outside the United Nations, this is the largest gathering of global leadership of the post-COVID period of time. For many people, this meeting feels out of step with the moment. We hear all about the elites. And how does that play out in an age of populism? How does an established institution make a difference in an era of deep institutional mistrust? And there's some truth to the critique. I believe in this forum for a long time. I certainly wouldn't be leading this if I didn't believe that we can change and make the world better. But it's also obvious that the world now places far less trust in us to help shape what comes next. If the World Economic Forum is going to be useful going forward, it has to regain that trust. We believe that.
Okay, so he said the quiet part out loud, and let's go into the facts, figures, numbers, logic. Get out of the emotion, guys. Remember, this is so important. Go look this up, and I'm going to paraphrase it. I never get the exact quote right, but Billionaires use astrology. Millionaires use charts. Now take out your belief system around astrology, whatever that, but just listen to what JP Morgan said. He's the one that said that, who created JP Morgan Bank. Okay. Why does he say billionaires use astrology, millionaires use charts? Astrology is a cycle that cycles. Okay. Millionaires use charts. That's emotion. If you're emotional about these markets and you're daily price sensitive or you're weekly price sensitive or monthly price sensitive, you're going to get wrecked. You're the exit liquidity. You have to understand big waves of energy. That's all that happens, guys. That's why I invented Capital DR. It's trademarked. Capital DR is a wave of energy, and we're filling assets based on the economic cycle because it just keeps cycling over and over again. As everybody's panicking, we're going in. As everybody's trying to get rich quick, we're getting out. We got offensive and we got defensive because of understanding of Ray Dalio. It's happening now. The existing fiat monetary order, the domestic political order, and the international geopolitical order are all breaking down. So we're at the brink of wars. It is all happening because of the big cycle that is driven by 5 big forces I've described repeatedly and laid out in detail in his book. Please go watch, just go type in Ray Dalio. You guys should all be subscribed to Ray Dalio, okay? You all have to go watch this YouTube video right here, The Principles for Dealing with Change in Order, and you'll see why I invented Capital DR. You'll see why I operate the way that I do. There's no emotion in this, guys. I love seeing Bitcoin under 90,000. I love seeing XRP under $2 because I know the big cycle is coming. Okay, so we're going to listen to Ray Dalio here, and then we're going to keep going deeper, and I'm going to show you the actual changing world order, and then I'm going to show you what the Trump family is doing at Mar-a-Lago. So think of like 1913 all over again, but reverse it in your head. Reverse it in your head. Invert everything. Okay, when they tell you to look this way, look this way. We're going from centralized to decentralized. The 1913 moment is getting reversed from them taking it from a decentralized, where everybody had their own currency around before 1907 in the United States, and they were trying to figure out how to monitor that, to a centralized system, back to decentralization. I'll explain my thought process around that on the back end.
Indicators of when a fiat currency is going to decline into collapse is when those who are holding its debt sell the debt, and the government, central bank, has to print money to buy that debt in large size while that's going down. Those are the most important indicators, so that you can see it. Again, I want to repeat, selling the debt so that there's a big supply-demand imbalance, and the central bank having to come in there and buy the debt that no one else will buy in large quantity, so that then there's a currency devaluation. You have those 3 things aligned, the currency devaluation going down at the same time as those other 2 things are happening. And that's been a classic. It's like a bank run. They come to the bank, there's not enough money in the bank, and so they have to make up the difference by the printing of money.
Okay. So that's what's actually happening right now. No reason to panic, no reason to run the banks, but you have to understand the transition. Now, the difference is that we're going through right now is there's a whole new world coming in with stablecoins, and Trump did save, I believe, in my opinion, he saved the bond market from collapsing because of stablecoins. He created the Genius Act. Genius, that's genius. He has USD1, the fastest growing stablecoin through World Liberty Financial, decentralized system. Okay. He brought USAT Tether into America, which controls 90% of stablecoin market. But hint, bingo. What do stablecoins use to balance them out 1-to-1? Short-term treasuries, bonds. He saved the bond market from collapsing. But they're still printing and they're still buying back their debt. Okay. So here's a little bit more wisdom from Ray Dalio. I will show you the changing world order in just a moment.
I think that right now we are at a decision-making point and very close to a recession. And I'm worried about something worse than a recession if this isn't handled well. A recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP, and whether it goes slightly there, we always have those things. We have something that's much more profound. We have a breaking down of the monetary order. We are going to change the monetary order because we cannot spend the amounts of money, so we have that problem. And when we talk about the dollar and we talk about tariffs, we have that. We are having profound changes in our domestic order, how ruling is existing, and we're having profound changes in the world order. Such times are very much like the 1930s. I've studied history, and this repeats over and over again. So if you take tariffs, if you take debt, if you take the rising power challenging the existing power, if you take those factors and look at the factors, those changes in the orders, the systems, are very, very disruptive. How that's handled could produce something that is much worse than a recession.
Boom. Okay. So here's what it looks like. This is data from 500 years. Okay. You have to decide if you believe this or not, but I'll read it to you. And this is the study of 500 years of rise and falls of superpowers. So if you knew a softball was coming at just take a tornado, a missile was coming at your head, would you move your head? like think about that. You literally, you have insight that maybe a freaking missile is coming at your head. So I saw it coming at my head and I'm like, let me move my head out of the way as this missile hits over here and destroys the middle class. And I'm going to position myself in defense that's always been here. And I'll explain that in just a moment. So again, I'm not telling people to buy XRP, Bitcoin. I'm going to share with you what I do based on offensive and defensive. And I have zero attachment to any of this shit, right? These are just assets that are playing within the current paradigm and role that I'm using based on economic cycles. Back in the days, they created their first annuity was in the Roman days, guys. Insurance has been around since the Roman days, okay? Gold, silver has always been a monetary hedge, right? So that's why you're seeing silver and gold go up. But we're so indoctrinated to earn income, which is debt for our labor. We have to understand that this is not our grandparents' economy. This is why. Okay. Back then, look at what they had. So look at this. Just let's read it off. 1 through going into 9, which starts to get like kind of medium, and then you go into red, which is 13 through 18. Strong leadership, inventiveness, education, strong culture, good resource allocation, good competitiveness, strong income growth, strong markets and financial centers. Okay. They manufactured the middle class, right? You could live off one income in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Then we started becoming less productive, overextended. After 1971, we detached from the gold standard, which made our money fake fiat. So we became overextended. Everything became debt. We started losing competitiveness. We started pushing all of our production outside of America. The wealth gap from 1971 to today has become absolutely massive. There's a hint for you. Okay. Can we agree on these 4? Thumbs up. Let's move on. Large debts, 38 trillion in debt, 1 trillion in credit card debt, the highest it's ever been. And it continues to grow every single day. Printing of money. They printed more money than history. And Trump is about to turn this printing machine on full blast. Internal conflict. Interesting. Left versus right. Now right versus right. Now ICE versus left. It is, I mean, look at what's happening in the cities, guys. Okay. Then we got loss of reserve currency. The dollar's collapsed 96 to 97%. Weak leadership. I mean, I think Trump is a strong leader, obviously. So that's what he's talking about. We don't know what's going to happen with this change, but we do know that there's a civil war and revolution happening. So what this means, though, doesn't mean, this is not the alarm to say, oh, the dollar's collapsing tomorrow. It's not collapsing tomorrow. I believe that Trump is dismantling the central bank. I believe that. Here's the logic behind that. Okay. He's attacking the Federal Reserve, right? They're not federal, nor are they reserve. They don't have reserves and they're not federal. I think he's going to bring the Federal Reserve underneath the government. He is going out and making deals all over the world. He said we're going to be on an even playing field monetarily. So this is how I'm making my decisions. And here's some wise counsel for you guys. I'm just a dude on the internet sharing my truth and exactly what I do. There is no influencer on social, YouTube, that elites are giving them inside information. If they are giving them inside information, they're lying to them and making them a pawn to push you into a different arena. There is no influencer out here on Twitter, YouTube, that is going out there and speaking about this stuff that the elites are coming and saying, hey, JV. So be very careful, guys. The reason why I thought of that, somebody messaged me and said, "Hey JB, are you going to this meeting here?" And I'm like, dude, I'm just a dude on the internet, man. I'm a dude who's built some companies. I'm a guy over here just built, raising my family, loving God, and doing what I can to survive this ecosystem, man. But I'm a very disciplined dude, and I understand these cycles. But nobody's like, do not get caught up in the bullshit, guys. People telling you, "Oh, I have insight, I have this." Then show us. If you have insight, then show us. Show us what you got. Like think of like let's think logically before I go into this next video. It's the year of truth, man. Like think logically. Do you think that if these influencers were going out there and saying, "I have this and I got this envelope that nobody knows about and blah blah blah, I have all this insight." Do you really think the people that are giving them insight they would be like, "Dude, shut the hell up. What are you doing?" Like that's logic, right? But it sells, guys. When you make people believe that you have insight, right? I came from banking. I still don't. I mean, yeah, I can talk to the executives and stuff and communicate with people around what they're seeing change. But even the executives, it's way up at the top of the house. Then it bleeds down to the need to know basis. And when it switches, right? But I'm a very logical. I don't know if it's I have severe dyslexia. And so I don't know if it's my dyslexia that I have a logical circuit. My brain can see patterns in people, health, financial. And so I worked on the patterns in myself. And then I started to see psychological patterns. And I started to see patterns all the way back in the Bible. They give you the mathematical patterns in the Bible, the 50-year Jubilee, the 7-year Shemitah. It's all patterns. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the same game every single time. And the one shouting, I know, but I'm not going to tell you, but you need to follow me. And trust me, if you follow me, no, that's just not how it works, guys. And if they are getting inside information, they're probably getting information that they want the people to know. So they'll go the opposite way. Just my thought process. So take that for what it is. But it's time to speak truth, right? We gotta be authentic and open. That's the year of authenticity. And remember, after February 20th, you're gonna see all these people get exposed. It's coming, guys. So get ready. So this right here is okay. Take a deep breath, get off your ego, get back down to reality. Okay. That was all ego talking, but like I said, this year is all about just what's in my head. I'm just gonna say it. I'm no longer filtering anything I say. I don't care if I lose followers. It's just like what's in this little noggin here is coming out, guys. So bear with me. The reason why I'm going to show you this video is because what I feel is happening, and I'm a big WLFI fan, have zero connection. And mind you, I've never been paid to promote a cryptocurrency ever. I'm not paid by Ripple. People think I am. I've never been paid by, I pride myself on that. I own my own companies, guys. And yes, I talk about my companies because I'm proud of them. I own an insurance brokerage. And I have 6 companies in education, financial services, financial literacy. I have a software company that created Merlin. So we have everything I talk about is companies we actually own. So I'm very proud of that. But the reason why I bring this up here in this video is because what I feel like is happening, I feel like it's like a 1913 moment, right? Where they had a meeting on Jekyll Island to centralize the system. And now they're having meetings at Mar-a-Lago to decentralize the system. Just my opinion. Listen in.
It's Donald Trump Jr. here, one of the co-founders of World Liberty Financial. I want to be the first to share with you something our team has been working tirelessly on over the last several months. Let's pull back the curtain a bit. On February 18th, we'll be hosting the World Liberty Forum, the most exclusive event in technology and finance at, where else? Mar-a-Lago.
Eerily familiar, right? Which I'm really excited about this. Like they had a meeting on Jekyll Island. Okay. They're having a very private meeting with people in technology and financial services. Where? Mar-a-Lago. So you got the president writing the rules, Steve Witkoff traveling the world, Jared Kushner traveling, making deals. The Trump boys are running World Liberty Financial. The Witkoff boys are running World Liberty Financial. You got Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, Cantor, his son's running the company. Cantor is linked up with XXI, which is 21 Capital. Guys, it's logic of what's happening. Bitcoin is the new gold. Things like XRP, HBAR. I would stick with the top 10, guys. I wouldn't go too far out and I wouldn't go too deep. Just have to use logic, okay? But you have to hold the line for a long enough period of time because most of you right now are about to give up. And I know it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it in our communities. I can feel it on the streets when I talk to people. People are like, oh, man, I get, it's like, guys, you ever seen that meme of the miner? He's right there and one's walking away. He was about to hit gold and he walked away. That's why you got to build conviction. You got to get disciplined. You got to build a system, because if you don't have a system, billionaires use astrology, millionaires use charts.
The crown jewel of Palm Beach. This isn't just another conference where random speakers pontificate for 3 days, shake hands, and fly home. We're launching a premier, invite-only forum for major players influencing the future. We're bringing together a select group of the smartest people we know and respect from finance and technology, people who are building and leading the best companies, moving serious money, and driving American innovation forward. The World Liberty Forum is a place where participants and attendees will express themselves freely. No scripts or talking points. We'll have deep conversations about a better future and the path we need to get there. A lot of what's happening now in finance and tech sounds good on paper, but falls apart in practice. We understand firsthand how flawed the old financial system really is. The trillion-dollar question is what replaces it and who builds it. And that's why we're so excited. History's next chapter might be decided at the World Liberty Forum on February 18th. More details coming soon at worldlibertyforum.com.
I mean, come on, man. Did I not tell you guys before that announcement came out, after February 20th, everything's flipping, guys? And then, okay, I want to be very clear about this. This is not about price predictions and prices are going to go up after February 20th. This is where you got to lock in, man. You got to look me in the eyes right now. You got to lock in. Let me ask you a rhetorical question. Comment down below. What's your plan? Is it waiting for XRP to go to 500, 1,000, 2,500? That's not a plan. Okay. A plan is a system. Remember, income and cash flow are completely different. The reason why we're waiting for saviors is because we're trained to labor for income, which is debt. You need to train yourself to take your income and create cash flow, because if you create cash flow, you're not market sensitive. And when you leverage after the foundation is built to buy more assets. You don't trade labor for income and buy a car and a credit card. That's the indoctrination system. So I'm going to teach you guys over the next 10 years how to reverse engineer this. It's going to take repeating myself over and over. That's what capital DR is. You see leverages on the back L. You should be leveraging on the back end when you've created cash flow, not income. When you've created assets that beat inflation. When you've created a protection component that you can leverage to do what? To buy more cash flow and income. That's how the elites operate. Money is cheap at the top and it gets really expensive at the bottom, the Cantillon effect. They take cheap money, they buy assets that we use to get poor. That's how the system works. I mastered it and I'm going to continue to master it, and I'm going to teach as many people as possible exactly what I'm doing. Okay. What I'm not trying to convince you to do is to buy the assets that I'm buying. I'm trying to convince you to understand how inflation works and how to beat inflation. That's your job. Your job is to convert your income into cash flow. It's the only way you're going to get free. You take your cash flow and you don't buy liabilities, you buy assets. And when you buy assets, when they appreciate, you don't sit there and give your money to someone else and watch it go up and go down. You take it and you monetize it. You borrow from it. I'm sorry, excuse me. Hold on. You take profits, some of it, and you build an ecosystem. You secure some in a family bank. You maybe put some into silver, into defense, gold, precious metals. It could be real estate, whatever your zone of competency is. That's your defense mechanism. Because offense, okay, goes up and down. That's assets. Defense protects you from the economic cycle. Then you borrow from defense when the offense collapses. Okay, we borrow from defense, we leverage at the back end after then we go back in when everybody's running and everybody's panicking. You go and buy all the real estate. You go buy this good companies at a fair price. That's how winning is done. Okay, that's my capital DR strategy. Okay, I want to share with you. People ask me all the time, how do I exit? This is Merlin. I am the co-founder and creator of Merlin. It is the smartest way to track your crypto. This is an interface. Okay. We do not hold your keys. We do not hold your crypto. So if you want to keep your crypto safe when you're traveling around, this pulls all your exchanges into one place. So when you're traveling around, you're safe. You can log on to Wi-Fi's. You can see all your exchanges in one place. But the beautiful thing is, boom, check this out. You can set up an exit plan, guys. We teach you how to set up an exit plan. So as the markets are going up, you can spend time, you're a baseball team with your kids, and all of a sudden, boom, hey, JV, you're about 10% away from your first exit target. Calmly go exit on your exchange. Right? It's about being organized, keeping your crypto safe, and having an actual plan that helps you profit. Because people say I made a bunch of money in crypto. You didn't make a bunch of money in crypto unless you pulled profits. So it's 30 days for free down below. That's how confident I am that you'll love it. It's 30 days for free in the description of my YouTube video. If you click my social media platform, you'll click the link. Use it for 30 days. Try it before you buy it. That's how confident I am. People absolutely love it. We have thousands of customers that have used it worldwide, and we'll continue to innovate with them. And we have so many cool tools coming up. So I love you guys, and I hope this information reaches your heart well. As I said, whatever's in this little noggin right here is coming out now. I've decided, it's that's the beauty of creating your own ecosystems too, guys. There's no man or woman telling me what I could say, what I could do. My YouTube's not monetized. My Instagram's not monetized. My Facebook's not monetized. My TikTok's not monetized. I have my own businesses. That's what we do. People come in through our ecosystems and they can use our products and services. But I think that's a powerful lesson for if you're an influencer listening to this as well, or so I hate that word, but creator in this space is work to build something that you're proud of, right? When you are at the mercy of promoting a cryptocurrency because that's how you make your money, I promise you it's not going to work out. That's why you're feeling the pressure right now. That's why it feels really uncomfortable right now. But when you build a system and you build cash flow and you build protection and you build a trust and you protect everything and you have a fortress around you, you can speak your truth. That's the key. We're in the great mutation of 2026, the era of authenticity. And if you can't speak your truth, then whose is it? But be very careful, use discernment. And remember, there's no influencer getting the inside information. We're all doing the best we can with the resources we have. I get my information off Twitter, and then I go do my own research, and I do the best I can to position my family in offensive and defensive. Defensive is things like cash value life insurance. I use Bitcoin as my gold. I'd put Bitcoin in defense. Okay. It can be offense and some can be offense and defense. Got cash value life insurance. That protects my family. Bitcoin, copper, silver. I'm doing Berkshire. That's my foundation. Imagine a house. My shit is rock solid on that side. Okay. My offense, XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, WLFI, Solana, HBAR, VeChain. Those are my top 7. I'm going to be consolidating when, they get to above water, all the other cryptos that I, try to get rich quick on. I learned my lesson. I'm going to be consolidating up into my top 4. It doesn't need to be fancy. XRP, Bitcoin, WFI, and Solana. That feels good to me. Payment tokens, store value, layer 1. Okay. What else I got? And DeFi banking, but the people writing the rules. That feels good to me. That's what I'm sticking with. On the stock side, American Bitcoin, XXI. I love cryptocurrency. It's my zone of competency. So I'm doing the stock side to get some exposure. And then I got my high risk, high return dividend stocks. And guess what I do? Every time I get paid on Monday from those, cash flow, that's cash flow. You make money while you sleep. I put it into Bitcoin and XRP. We keep stacking and racking, baby. Freedom is what we're after. Okay. Freedom is what we're after. Not lifestyle creep, freedom. Free your dumb. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise. Get your shit together. God bless you.